Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's stream. We didn't do one last night. I was too busy reviewing Story of Seasons and Monster Hunter and a whole bunch of other things. It has been a busy week, but I have found time for this Arkham Horror Mother's Embrace. This just released on the Switch last night as I record this, or as I do this stream, and as a big fan of the Arkham Horror board game, I was always going to check this one out. I was definitely looking forward to giving this a go, and I gave it a short go last night. I really like it, so I'm going to show you what it's all about tonight. It is an adaptation of a board game, but it has gone well beyond that. It has XCOM style combat, it's got RPG bits and pieces, and everything else. So it is a board game plus as such. Hello Brad, welcome to the stream and thanks for joining us. So yeah, let's give this a go, shall we? Let's get into it. We'll go into new game so you can see the opening chapter, the tutorial bit, because that does a pretty good job of explaining how to play this game. Now I will warn you in advance, there is one slight issue with it, I guess, in the sense that there is, the Switch port is good. I mean, I haven't played any of the other versions, but the Switch game, it's a well-made game. It runs smoothly and stuff. It just has a long loading time at the start of the level. So you're going to see that. Once you get into the level, loading times are no problem at all, and it all looks good. So there is one slight issue so far as I can tell. Okay, so we jump into it. Now, this is based on a real board game. If you've played Arkham Horror, then you know what to expect from it. It is Lovecraftian horror, and racist little dink that he was Lovecraft, but he did make some excellent horror, cosmic horror. We have him to thank for an awful lot of very intense, intense nightmares from outer space. Big fan of Lovecraft, even despite that little issue with his writing.
That's my
So at the start you get to select a character.
It's my time.
There's 7 different characters to choose
I
between.
heed the Lord's call.
They're all pretty cool. They all have little backstories, as you can see.
It's my time.
And they've all got different stats. Like I said, this is based on a board game, really. So we'll jump into this one. A Tahitian artist of extraordinary talent, Sefina, makes more money from her reproductions of other works than for original paintings. There you go. She is a copy-paster, but we'll use her. There's an awful lot of stats there that I don't even need to bother explaining right now. If you play the game yourself, all of that stuff that you see on the screen there matters, but for now it doesn't. Yeah, like I said on Twitter, unfortunately I haven't had a chance to check out the handheld version of this for you. I am on a train tomorrow, so I was going to check it out then. But yeah, it may well not look great in handheld. I don't know. You never know. They may have a different handheld resolution or something that makes it work. I hope so. So this is the loading screen I was telling you about. This one does take a while. Once it loads, once we're into the game, then you won't see another one like this. But yeah, this takes a while. I don't know if this is on PlayStation 4 or 5. If it is on PlayStation 5, then you probably don't have to worry about this loading time much at all. But yeah, this is one of the longer loading sequences. And it just doesn't do much interesting, you know. It's just got a bit of shrewd advice, as they call it, but you don't have much to look at here. Could have designed this a little bit better. If you're not absolutely, you know, if playing in handheld is not the world's end to you, then you may be better off going with the PS4, PS5 version of it. And yeah, like you say, if the text is too small to see, then there's not much point playing it in handheld anyway. There we go.
Allow me to introduce myself.
So you do get this little introduction. I've turned the sound right down
professor
hear
of
it myself,
astronomy at Miskatonic University.
Yeah, I don't want to get copyright strike
All
or
my
anything
life
like that.
I
So
have
I'm
dedicated
going to talk through this.
myself
But
to
basically,
the
this is a
study
little
of
tutorial mission. That old
celestial
woman
objects.
she is
Most
a
recently,
specialist in
I
the study
visited
of
Louisiana
astronomical
to observe
objects
the
like
passage
comets,
of a
as you see in
comet
there,
I had
and
observed
you have
for many
reason to
years.
go and catch up
I
with her.
hoped the
Basically,
trip would provide me
the
with
reason
the
that changes
evidence
from character to
required
character.
to conclude my decades-long research. Yesterday, you received my telegram requesting that you meet me at my house, just outside Arkham.
I think.
And so, you've decided to join me in my mansion.
Nice mansion. Wouldn't mind living there myself. Oops. If
I've
you
heard
that,
Professor
that was my
Tillinghast
little
specializes in astronomy, but she
vibrating.
must
But
have
here
learned
we
as
are.
well.
We are now in the
If
game.
she can afford such a lovely mansion, I
So,
imagine
like I
she
said,
can
this is
pay
the
handsomely
tutorial
for the
that gives you
painting she
all
wants
that
to
you need to
discuss.
know how to play this game. Because this is a board game, after this, nothing really changes. It's the same kind of thing. But as you can see immediately, it doesn't look like a board game.
Welcome
It's certainly
to
got
my mansion, my friend.
board game plus presentation.
I'd better ring the bell.
Here we go. Now we've got control of our little character. We can control this and this. And walking speed's a little bit slow, but areas aren't too large anyway, so, and it is a board game, so it's not like it's an action-based thing. And you can investigate little things that have little glowing lights like this. This car has a little glowing light. So the professor is in the house because her car's just there, and she hasn't left the house recently because the engine's still on. Hello, Gamer 007. That's a great name. From Ohio, no less. Great to have you on. It must be quite early over there at this time of morning. So we're still investigating right now. There's little bits and pieces to investigate. So why can't I investigate? I got a little bit close. There we go. That's not letting me investigate that. Oh, there we go. Cellar door. Cellar door. No reason to go in there. That was just a thing that you could look at. 6 AM. That is bright and early. You're like me. I get up at like 6 AM in the morning too, and people always think I'm strange for it. Okay. So none of these things actually matter anyway, so I'm not going to bother looking at the rest of them. 3 AM. Is that because you got up early, Brad, or you just didn't go to sleep? I didn't know you're from Seattle. Seattle's my favorite place in America.
What's
I like
wrong
Seattle
with
a
this
lot.
picture?
What is wrong with this picture? Oh, I'm glad you found the channel and enjoy it. Thank you. It really, I do like hearing those things. So I'm glad it is of interest and use to you. What's wrong with this picture?
Rude of me to make you wait like this.
There's a light coming from that second floor window. She might... I'd better have a closer look. But the door's...
So we can't get into the door. That's the hook, the narrative hook here. So you can press this and pull up a little notebook, which gives you the story, if you're in the mood to read it, all your character stats and stuff, and their profile, the enemies that you fought so far, haven't met any of those yet, and your objective. So my objective right now is to find another way in. Fair enough. We've got to get into this mansion. And over here, you see a box of, a collection of boxes. There you go. It is late here, and I've been working since like 6 AM in the morning, so I'm going to stumble over quite a few of my words. It's 9 PM over here. It's what, 13 hours straight I've been working today. It's tiring. Yeah, I know, I got in the same habit, Brad, of staying up way too late and then getting up early, and my whole sleeping habits got destroyed thanks to not being able to leave the house. I still haven't recovered from that either. Staying safe from the floods? Yeah, it didn't affect me, thank goodness. I'm based in Wollongong, and Wollongong is one of the areas that got hit by a lot of rain. I've been inside for the last couple of days, but I didn't have any flood damage, thank goodness.
It's no problem to reach the window, but it's shut tight.
Okay, so we've got
I
the
need to
boxes
smash
there.
the glass
We can use
to get
those to get
inside.
access to the window, but we need to smash the glass.
I
Where
hope
can we
you
do
aren't
that?
thinking what I fear you're thinking.
What I need is something heavy to
Oh,
smash.
you got
this
floods
window.
over there as well, have you? Gosh. Sorry to hear that. Floods are nasty things. Here we go. We go over here, and here comes the first of what the game calls complex interactions. And a complex interaction is basically an option of a couple of different things that you can do. Now, in this case, we can either take a quick look at the wheelbarrow or take a careful look through it. So I think that makes it, that's a pretty obvious thing what we want to do. We want to do a good look through. And we found a wire cutter, which we can use to smash a window. Convenient. Convenient. Here we go. And just like that, we've smashed the window, and we have access to the house.
I hope my fears aren't justified, but I have to check.
Now we need to go and find the
Now,
professor,
where
who
to
is still
find
missing,
Professor
but we know
Tillinghast?
that she is in the house somewhere. And once again we have control. We'll look at the piano. It's a beautiful piano. Alright. Look at the painting. A painting of a comet. Someone's a little bit obsessed with space. I used to be too. I had pictures of comets and stuff all through my house when I was younger. Nowadays it's Miku. Slight change in
A
taste.
broken vase. The professor must have heard it fall. She wouldn't have just left it
Alright,
here.
so we walked through this room and into this room and we found a broken vase.
I better find
Why
her.
is it broken? Let's find out. So here's the other, I guess, quirk of these complex interactions, as the game calls them. The first one didn't have any consequences, but as of now, from now on, there is a consequence. So we have two options here. We can either manipulate the broken glass or try to put it together. If we choose the wrong thing, you can see a little clock on the top right of the screen there. That starts to tick around. And if that ticks all the way around, one of the elder gods, as in the Lovecraftian beasties from outer space, takes notice of us and basically does away with us. So you need to pick the right option and get through the level before that happens. Now, sometimes, depending on your character's skills, they'll actually give you a tip about which of those two things to choose. But because this skill is based on kind of logic, and my character's not very logical, I don't get any tip. I'm just going to have to guess. But I'm going to guess put together. Yeah, it is quite adventure-y. I think that's where the kind of the board game plus stuff comes into it. Oh good, I got that right. You will see later on there are other elements that really play on the board game side of things, and the whole way that the storytelling and the structure of the game works is very board game-like as well. It was very much, it's this really interesting effort that the developer has taken the basic board game, thought to themselves, if we just remake the board game, it's not going to be the most compelling video game. What can we do to work with it in an interesting way? And this is what they've come up with, and I'm really digging it. I wish more board game adaptations took this approach, I think. Okay,
That
so
scream came
with
from
that, she
upstairs.
just heard a scream. I don't know if you could hear that over the muted volume that I've got. The
That
professor,
sounds
we
like my
assume,
voice.
has
Professor?
just screamed.
Was that you?
Of course
So
it
something's
was.
definitely going wrong
No answer.
in this
There
little
must be
house
someone else in the
mansion.
house.
We need to find a weapon first, though, because it may well be an enemy. And because that scream wasn't something we wanted to hear, we lost a point of sanity. So our characters have two stats, as you can see on the top of the screen there. The left-hand one with the 24, that's your health, and the right-hand one, the blue, is your sanity. If the sanity runs out, you're in all kinds of trouble. That is very common for anything to do with Lovecraft. I'm sure anybody that has played a Lovecraftian game will know that. Just automatically. Hello Diddy, welcome to the stream. I'm glad to hear you haven't been flooded out too. A lot of New South Wales was, so I'm really glad you've been safe. That's good to hear. So we need to find a weapon. Where do we find a weapon? Can we go through this door? Maybe not. No, door's locked. and we don't want to go that way anyway. So the only other way we can go is... Oh, we can look here. So no advice again, the table. We can either examine the table or look through it. Let's look through it, shall we? Nailed it. Got it right. And because of that, we found a knife. So we'll move the knife over to our inventory.
This knife might come in handy if I run into trouble.
And we are now ready to deal with whatever horrors from outer space we might meet. I'll just pull up the inventory just to equip that knife, because for some reason it doesn't automatically equip. There we go. I did not see that tweet, did he? I'll have to check that out afterwards. No worries, Brad. Watch the rest of the stream. You'll see the board game elements. It's all archived, so you'll be able to check it out whenever. But yeah, we can chat about the game later on as well. I am a fan of mascot characters. I'll have to check that out. I'll check out your tweet, Diddy. Alright, so we're up the top of the stairs. Now let's go into here.
The scream must have come from the other side of this door.
The scream definitely came through that door.
That's my office door.
So let's open it. It's locked. Great. So we now need to try to find the key. We'll go down here. Nope. No reason to go into that door. The game just arbitrarily tells you that you can't go into some rooms. Painting of cats, you see. What was that? Painting of cats. Old ladies tend to like cats. But you do admit it emits a sense of calm. Yes. Cats. Cats are anything but calming. I do like cats, but they're not calming animals. Posted here, but I won't be able to check it till the end of the stream because I'm kind of in the middle of playing a video game right now, Tiddy. But I will definitely check it out. A mirror. Nope, no clue there. That's fine. What about this? Okay. So you know how I was saying earlier on in the stream that sometimes, depending on your character's skill sets, and they change from character to character, they'll give you a little tip about which of these options you should use. This one, we did get a tip, because she's good at this manual skill, and she's telling us she could break that lock. So we'll force the lock open, and voila, we did. We got it right. So, whoops. That's a bandage. That obviously heals us from damage if we take some wounds. I see. That's interesting. That's fascinating. How did you come across that bit of news, Diddy? Alright. So we can go into this room here now. It's a child's room of sorts. Children's toys. Nothing of interest about that. Whoa. Ooh. Cutscene. Ah, we've met somebody. He looks like a private investigator sort, doesn't he? A Philip Marlowe.
Who's there?
Or an Indiana Jones. Maybe a cross of both. Good spot, Diddy. I find that amusing.
Questions. Roland Banks,
okay,
Bureau of
so
Investigation.
he'll ask the questions. Roland Banks, Bureau of Investigation.
Who are you? And what's your reason
So he's
for
a
being
detective.
What would a federal agent
Hard-boiled,
want
no
with
less.
me?
I'm Safina
A
Russo.
Fed.
Professor Tillingist invited me to discuss commissioning a painting.
Is this a Switch-only game? No, it is not, I'm glad to say. You can definitely get it on PC, and I'm pretty sure PlayStation 4 and 5. And I would imagine that means you can also get it on Xbox. Pretty much everything, then. I would imagine the Switch version looks a little bit less than the other versions, so if you want to get one of the other versions, you'll have a better-looking game. But otherwise, they'll be all the same.
When she didn't answer the door, I let myself inside. When I heard her...
Seems like I'm on the right track. Something hinky's going on here.
Is Professor Tillingist a suspect in some crime?
She's only a person of interest. The Bureau has evidence that others are trying to involve her in some shady business. I came to find out what she knows, if anything. Then I heard the scream, too.
I wasn't prepared for so many
I'll help you find that key.
Alright, so that little exchange just meant that now Roland Banks has also been added to our little party, so you do end up with more than one character in your crew. And as you can see on the top now, we have 2 characters. Now we'll have a look at this, we'll have an investigate. No advice. Let's move things around. We found a key. Okay.
There's a key on this mobile.
My files say Tillinghast has no children.
The professor always wished for children.
So I can confirm that this dialogue is basically the same, regardless of which character you choose as your main one. It changes their stats and their backstory, but the dialogue itself plays out pretty much the same way. You might just want to choose different characters for different strategic reasons. Because like with any board game, those stats count for something. Okay, so we'll go into here if we can. And it's a bedroom. Let's check out the books. See if there's any good reading up here. A packet of cigarettes has been kept in the bookshelf. I'm surprised this game hasn't been banned in Australia actually, because you can use these cigarettes to improve your sanity. So as the sanity health drops down, you can take a smoke and recover it, which in Australia is actually a bannable offence for a game, because any game can't have rewards tied to drug use. If you do that, it's an instant ban. So don't tell the classification board anybody, but this game is actually technically should be illegal in this country. So we can search through this large chest. Let's force it open. Oops. There we go. So we made a mistake. And like I was saying earlier, when you make mistakes, the little clock on the top right of the screen starts to tick around. If it ticks all the way around, the Elder God, whatever the Elder God is in that scenario, they'll come and get you. That hasn't happened to me yet, but I am assuming that it's not a good thing, given the way that Lovecraft's stories generally play out. So, there was nothing in there. That was just a waste of the Elder Clock Mythos, whatever it was. Okay, now it's going to get exciting. Now the drama picks up. So we have the key. We can now go into here. And you can see, as you can see just on the bottom of the screen there, just under the door, there's a little bit of kind of movement in the light. That's an indication that there's an enemy behind there. So you can prepare for it before combat if you need to. We've got no reason to do anything else but just go through and fight whatever's there. Boom.
What?
Oh,
Who?
it's a cultist. Because cultists were a big deal in Lovecraft stories, and they make a very easy low-level enemy to fight because they're just human. They're not any kind of beasties from overseas, from outer space.
Can I expect to break into my house today?
They're very convenient.
Who
they're
are
mortal. You can just kill
Listen,
them.
pal.
It's okay.
You've got some
'Cause they're
explaining to do.
cultists.
Come then. I have just the explanation.
Anyway, now we get to see the combat system. This I quite like. I don't know why we lost a bit of sanity, because it's just a cultist. I mean, he's not going to... Anyway, as you can see, we're just running through the explanation about how the game works, but it's basically XCOM. So down the bottom here, you've got a whole range of different abilities that you can use, including Overwatch. You can trade items or whatever with another character that's next to you. You can use items if you happen to have bandages or whatever in your supply. You can reload if you're using a gun, as this guy is, or you can move. So it's a simplified XCOM system, but it is definitely XCOM. But what we're going to do is we're just going to shoot this cultist with our gun. And we critical hitted him, no less, so we knocked him out in one go. That felt pretty good.
What's going on?
We'd better have a look inside.
Alright. Now, one other thing you need to be able to do, you should do. Your ammunition doesn't automatically reload, so you can reload between combat if you want, which is what I've just done. Some plants there. Can pick up another bandage that we might need. You never know. Okay, and let's have a look in here. Now we can see under that door that once again there's like a shadow moving, so there's enemies behind that door. We're going to have to do a bit more fighting yet. Which is what we'll do. Let's crash on through. And of course we find the professor quite deaded. And two cultists this time. Combat is picking up.
Oh dear. Do my eyes deceive me?
Wait. That's me.
That's Professor Tillinghast, all right.
We need to stop them.
Alright, so Detective Guy will take a shot at that cultist, I think. And unfortunately not kill them. But this is where we get to go into Overwatch. So as you can see with Overwatch you can pick the range, and if an enemy moves within that area you'll get a free attack on them. So I'm going to get a free hit on her when she decides to move. Thank you very much for joining us on the stream, and I'm really glad that you enjoy our channel, and look forward to seeing you on the next stream. Jamer Gamer 007. We'll see you next time. Just you and me now, Dizzy. Are you a fan of Lovecraft? It's a big question. I don't want to move that far. I guess I'm just going to go into Overwatch with her, I guess. If the enemy comes into there, I'll be able to attack. Okay, well that's good. That's good. I mean, that means at least you've read a good chunk of his work. Do you have any favourites? Like, do you enjoy his horror? I mean, I know he's got the racist thing going, which is a bit annoying, but I find he's quite interesting as an author. The concepts, his vivid imagination, they're all quite interesting. Colour from Outer Space is very good. Have you actually seen the movie? It's surprisingly good. Lovecraft's infamously difficult to do well as a film, in film, but The Colour Out of Space, the recent one, is actually very good. Mountains of Madness, that is also a very good one. For me, my favourite, Lovecraft, it's got a little bit more of the kind of the esoteric enemies in there, but I'm a big fan of Shadow over Innsmouth. That is probably my favourite of his. I like the kind of the aesthetic of the fishing village and all that kind of stuff. Definitely that one was appealed to me. And they actually did a really good job of recreating that, at least the opening scene of Shadow over Innsmouth in Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth, which was a video game back in the Xbox era. Alright, so after that round of combat, because there's one enemy left alive, the little clock on the top right actually ticks over a bit further on. So you do need to try and deal with enemies that you come across quite quickly as well. We should be able to kill this guy this turn though. Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect.
Who were those?
I did not expect colors
This wasn't
to
just
be
a burglary.
color to be a good film, especially since it was Nicolas Cage and stuff. But it really works. It was definitely a better film than I was expecting. I was just expecting it to be bad, but yeah. And I think I'm not the only one. A lot of Lovecraft fans found it to be surprisingly engaging. All right, so.
You're right
With those
about
defeated, now we're going to have to
Connected
do an
to my
investigation of the
We better have a look
scene
around.
to work out what exactly happened. We'll start by studying the ground here. As you can see, there's a symbol of sorts that's been etched in blood, and investigating that cost us a bit of sanity. You do need to be careful about your sanity. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the really esoteric stuff goes places for sure. What was the other one? The music of Eric Zan, I think that was the name of it. The guy that was like a violinist, but in playing the violin, he opened dimensions to another universe or something. it was right out there. He has his moments, does Lovecraft. So that was
There's something otherworldly
some kind
about
of
that weird
esoteric
symbol. Like something from one of my
summoning
strange visions.
symbol or something.
And it's drawn in
Otherworldly is
blood.
what they term it. Drawn in
My
blood
nice
because what
clean
else are you going to
floor.
use?
Ruined.
That looks like some kind of...
And I'm pretty sure looking at the professor's body is going to cost us some more sanity, but we haven't got much of a choice, do we? We need to know what's going on here. Yep, both took a hit in sanity on that one.
Poor Professor Tillinghast. Such a terrible death.
It is a pretty terrible death. I can think of worse ways to go than that.
Despite my age,
This wound on his stomach? It looks...
There's a clock to check here. Nothing about the clock particularly stood out. Check the desk. Just a notebook
Look at
or
these
something.
notebooks. Is this the professor's handwriting?
it is, but how would you know?
There's no useful information here, but perhaps Professor Tillinghast kept notes on this material.
And over here. There is a shattered container and a flask that probably came from a laboratory. You can make out the printed words Miska Uniseclab.
What's this mess?
I mean, any Lovecraft fan is immediately going to recognize what that actually refers to.
Yeah, broken
But they
jar,
explain it anyway, yeah.
flask. Can make out a few...
Miskatonic University Science Lab.
Miskatonic University
That's simple
Science
enough.
Lab. Yes, the Miskatonic University shows up in a good dozen of Lovecraft's stories.
We found everything we're liable to find here.
And so, my
And so after that, that was the tutorial, remember? It was kind of a... They seem to have changed the plot of colour around a bit. They did change the plot a little bit, but... and the colour from outer space is just purple, but... Yeah, they did change the colour around, the plot around a little bit, but it still works as a Lovecraft thing. As difficult as it is to visualise what Lovecraft does or wrote about, they've done a good job of capturing the aesthetic and spirit of it, so... I do recommend it. And then we get the introductory sequence. So, once again, from that tutorial, we now know that there was a murder that took place of a professor, and it's related to the Miskatonic University. So, we're going to have to go there next, one would imagine. And this is as far as I got when I played last night. So, now, this is all new to me from this point on. And the tutorial only takes about 35 minutes, so there you go. That gives you everything that you need to know how to play the game. And
your search of my office makes it clear you must visit Miskatonic University.
Finding meaning in the stars. And we need to select our party, which at this stage is just 2 characters. Later on you'll get more, I would imagine. Once again, I haven't played past this point, so this is all new to me. But I imagine you get more as you get further into the game. Complete more stories. But yeah, in this one, because the clue in the last mission, quest, level, whatever you want to call it, directed it to the Miskatonic University, now we are going there to try to understand why she might have got murdered. Imagine wanting to go back to uni. Yeah, but if it's Miskatonic Uni, you're going to learn stuff, dude. Really exciting things. Okay, so we also get to add stuff. Anything that we found in our last job, we can add in and add it to our stuff. So we'll grab a bandage each. We'll grab some cigarettes. I'll give that to the detective. He looks like a smoking sort. And a gun, which we reload. Alright, we didn't need to really worry about preserving anything there. We'll jump into it. Are you sure you want to continue with the investigation with the current group and equipment? I do indeed. So once again, I imagine we'll have a fairly lengthy loading time because it's a new story chapter. A lot of assets to load. The Switch isn't exactly the PlayStation 5 for its ability to load stuff fast. Could sing you a little song here, but you don't want to hear me sing. I promise you. I like how they call the tips like shrewd advice. Like, yeah, sure. It is very shrewd, I guess. It's a good word, shrewd. I prefer it to tips.
Welcome to Miskatonic University.
Miskatonic University.
Home of the prestigious Orne Library,
which contains the country's largest collection of occult books. I much prefer being there than Harvard, I guess.
I once studied here as a student.
Actually, it looks like a pretty nice campus.
Later donning the mantle of professor and passing along all I learned to the next generation.
Of course, the one thing I care about is where the bar would be. That's where I spend all my time at university.
Like a second home to
this one better have a really good bar as well. I went to a university that had a very famous bar
to the
in the city of Sydney called the Roundhouse. They had all kinds of great concerts.
Science and astrophysics.
Roundhouse was good fun.
Why couldn't we have come to the art department?
Putting that aside. Science and astrophysics, that's where we have to go and hang out. What a department.
It has changed over the years.
The secretary said Professor Norman Withers could give us access to Professor Tillinger's office. But what do we expect to find?
So we need to firstly find this Professor Norman Withers. He's going to give us the key to the dead professor's office.
We won't know until we look.
All right. Let's brace
Who knows what we're going to find?
And find out what's what.
Let's find Withers. Oh, okay. Here we go. This is interesting. This is interesting indeed. The little clock on the top right of the screen, it hasn't reset back to 0. So we are that much more likely now to run into some kind of demon-y thing, I guess. What do we got here? Trophies. Trophies for astronomy. Who knows what that means? Map. Oh, there we go. We've got a COVID shot. Not really. It's a recovery thing. Device. What do we got over here? A notebook.
Here's Tillingist's office on the left. Withers to the right. They must have known each other.
Professor Tillingist's door is locked.
So
But
her
of
door
course,
is
my
locked.
friend. Some have even...
We'd better ask Withers for the key.
And Withers has the key. And he was on the right, so that must be his door there. We'll check out this bookshelf shelf first, just to see if there's anything there. Why do they call that a door? That's a bookshelf. Anyway, we go through here,
I see
and
no
we're going to
Agatha.
run into the
You
Santa
will pardon me
Claus.
for saying I have never believed your methods to be the least bit scientific. I refuse to believe that Wilhelmina would have...
Oh, they're talking about me. Norman and I were colleagues for years. So naturally, we addressed... You, of course, may call me Professor Tillingist.
Yes, what is it? How can I help you?
Pardon the intrusion, Professor Withers. We're investigating Professor Tillingist's death, and we...
Not again. Can't an old man mourn his friend in peace? Oh, these constant intrusion. As I told
I
your
don't know why he's
friends
not looking
earlier,
at this.
I
as
do
we're
not
talking
wish
him.
to
That's
be
a little bit
disturbed.
rude. I mean, I know he's a professor there and stuff, but still,
Listen,
could be a
pal.
little bit polite about this.
Wait just a moment, Norman. Something tells me these people aren't the same as the others. Look at their eyes. They've seen things beyond... Oh, forgive my manners. I'm Professor Agatha Crane, and you seem to know of my colleague, Professor Norman Withers. Something tells me you've seen Wilhelmina, haven't you? That is, Professor Tillingist.
I like professors in my top 10. I can't even remember the professors of any of my university's lectures. I tell you who is not one of my favourite professors is Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't like that guy. Oh no. He might be smart, but he's a very smart idiot, is Mr. Neil.
Agatha, for heaven's sake, stop this nonsense.
No, Professor Withers. She's right. We arrived too late to save Professor Tillingist, but we've seen evidence that whatever happened to her was unnatural, to say the least.
I told you, Norman, that box could hold more than knickknacks and gewgaws. I, for one, want to see it.
What? Where are you going, you confounded parapsychologist?
To the observatory. Wait here, Norman. I know you won't
To
want to
the
be disturbed
observatory.
further.
Huzzah! Huzzah, huzzah. Okay, so we've got another party member. Cool! We're up to 3 now. Agatha Crane, her name is. Parapsychologist. Interesting specialty. So, what you got there? Bullets! Never know when we might need them. Give us a key, dude. Oh, maybe we don't need the key. What is this? I wonder who's he spying on. Nobody. Totally legitimate scientist, that guy. Okay. Go out here. Can we go in here now? Do we have the key? I need the key. No. Alright, so we need to go to the observatory. which I believe will probably be up this way.
Ah,
That's
the
it.
old observatory. Don't be fooled by its... Of course, the new Gerald Warren Astronomical Observatory is a technological marvel. Through these telescopes, I first gazed with wonder at the stars.
Alright, so we're looking for clues up here now. Some notes. A Book of Restrain. Oh, it's a spell. We've got a spell book. Let's give that to Agatha.
Could it be? Yes, these glyphs indicate gestures of
I was
power,
right. It's a book of spells.
magic.
Excellent.
This,
we got the
my friends,
Necromonicon.
is a grimoire.
Not
a
quite.
book
Not
of
yet. I'm sure the
spells.
Necromonicon will show up.
What it is doing
because
at
that was in
university,
pretty
I
much every one
cannot
of Lovecraft's
say.
stories as
But
well.
we mustn't let this
Could not
opportunity
resist that
go
book,
to
that
waste.
dude. And then made a pretty cool cameo in Evil Dead. A bookcase with a pipe wrench. That would be a weapon. We'll give the weapon to her as well, since Agatha doesn't have a weapon right now. Now Agatha has a weapon. We've got to be prepared for the beasties. What about this? Perhaps something other than a key can open the lock. So, lockpick, force lock, or break of the door. Maybe a lockpick. Hey, we got it right. And that was
Here is the
box or
mysterious
something.
box.
A mysterious box.
The label marks it as belonging to Professor Tillinghast. What are these strange...
This symbol. It was in Professor Tillinghast's room.
Ah, we make the link between the symbol we see on the box and that symbol that was all bloodied all over the floor in the previous level.
You've seen this symbol in Wilhelmina's room, haven't you? It is similar to the iconography of ancient pagan rituals.
Always blame the pagan rituals. When in doubt, you always blame
Here's
them.
proof that Wilhelmina's research went beyond known science.
Many of our colleagues questioned Agatha's unorthodox avenues of research, but none questioned her...
We must show this to Norman. Only then will he help us.
Alright, so I think we've done everything we can here. So now we'll head back downstairs, and I think we need to go and talk to the other professor. I'm assuming, anyway, that's what we need to do. By showing him that box, he'll let us into the professor's room. Give us the key, dude.
Look here, Norman. See the odd things in this box of Wilhelmina's?
I don't see what this has to do with her death.
We saw a sign identical to the one on this box in the room where Professor Tillinghast was killed.
I must admit that seems far too unlikely to be mere coincidence. Very well. You, Wilhelmina left Arkham
Cool, he's going to help
earlier
us
this
out. So
year,
give us the
and
key.
I
Give
received
us
this
the
box.
key.
After hearing no word from her, I became concerned, and I confess, I briefly searched her office for some
Oh, Norman, you dear fool. I was only...
Unfortunately, I
Come on,
couldn't
Santa.
make sense
Make
of
with a
her
gift.
notes. They made no sense to me. I did sense a whiff of the occult.
None of us can see the whole picture alone. Help us finish sketching out what happened to Professor Tillinghast.
You're right, of course. Here, take the key to Wilhelmina's office.
Fine.
What was that sound? It
Oh.
came from next door.
What was that sound? It came from next door. It's going to be more
My
cultists,
office.
I bet. Let's go kill some cultists. Shall we? Not just been ransacked. Someone snuck in and snuck back out again. Because you didn't see the little kind of glowy thing under the ground, remember? Ooh! Something's happening outside.
What was that commotion? There's nobody here.
Someone beat us to it. The room's been searched. And
Just look at this mess. Someone...
Look there. Even the safe is broken open.
Now they're on the lam. We gotta nab them before they get off campus.
Whoever it is must be dangerous. You must protect the students.
So you got to protect the students and find whoever did that. But first, we're going to investigate. Yeah, safe. Never know, there might be some kind of notes here. So because we looked at the notebook, we got some sanity back. That's good. That's good. You find a book by the notorious occultist Alistair Crowley. I think, just as a really noisy car drives by, I think that Alistair Crowley might be a character from a Lovecraft story, actually. The name rings a bell. So that might be a reference back to Lovecraft himself. And a painting. Cool. So nothing else. We're going to have to fight a battle here, I reckon.
I would never forget
cultists.
such distinctive costumes. These people belong to the same cult as those at the professor's house.
Cultists. Let's
They're the
wail
ones
on
who
them a
looted
bit.
her office. Stop!
Is he? Well, that might be where I recognise his name from then. Maybe that's why. He's not so much a character of fiction, but he's an actual character. Thanks for clearing that up for me, Diddy.
Who are these interlopers? Deal with them while the others are...
We got to knock some sense into a couple. Oh, these cultists are a bit tougher. Why'd we lose sanity just for fighting cultists? They're not that scary. God's sakes. Alright, let's pistol one down. That one. Let's take a shot. Ow! Not enough to knock him out, but we'll go into Overwatch. And the moment he moves, he's dosed. Okay, Agatha, let's see what you can do. With a monkey wrench. What was it, monkey wrench? Whatever it was. And I'll Overwatch there too. Hopefully we can... we're probably not going to be able to knock them both out in one go. Damn it. Damn it, damn it. Ow! Oh, he's not even dead. Yeah. Knifed him. Green dress just brutalized him. Alright, come on, Agatha. Weak. Oh, stunned! Hallelujah. Monkey wrench did it for me. And the clock ticks down. That's not what I wanted. I probably should save ammunition. I could have killed that guy without... could have killed that guy without actually using a gun. I don't know how much ammunition I've got. It doesn't seem to tell me. Anyway, monkey wrenched him to death. Caved his head in. This is very RPG-like.
That scream is coming from down the corridor.
Alright, so we're now going to go racing down that corridor.
Must be
The
one of those
students are
weird
getting
burglars.
murdered.
Let's go.
Oh, keep losing sanity here. That's not good. I don't know why. Maybe that green glowy stuff out there is what's causing it to happen. I think that's a corridor, wasn't it? That's why we're standing there. So let's do it. Let's face whatever we got to face. Come on. Okay. Nope. So the game's going to tell us which doors we can go into and which we can't.
That scream came from right around here.
Ah, that door.
This was Wilhelmina's classroom. It sounds as though some students have locked themselves in.
Who?
I wonder what we're going to have to fight there
Who's out
because it's
there?
all glowy and stuff, so maybe it's like
It's me, Professor
horror
Crane.
monster.
Are you...
We're safe, but some strange people attacked us. We managed to bear...
You stay put until we've dealt with them. Did you see...
They ran down the next corridor. Be careful,
After we handle those burglars, we should come back here. If this was Professor Tillinger's class...
So we have to come back there. Just remember that spot, peeps. Check out the trash can. What do we find? Bullets. We do need them. Oh, that's where it has. The bullets is down the bottom there. I missed that. So I've got 6 bullets on top of the 5 that's in the gun already. Should probably try and conserve some of those. Oh, I see. So if you have a cigarette, you get some sanity back, but you actually hurt yourself. That is very socially responsible of you. Game developer, recognizing the harmful impact of cigarettes.
Come here, you.
Oh, now it's 3 cultists, no less.
Help me!
We must
And we've got
protect
to
the
protect
students.
one of those student types. Some fights you have to protect civilians. Yeah, that's fine.
Help me!
We got this covered. We'll just run away. Dude. I'm going to use a bullet to try and knock out this closest guy. Tactics. And I'm going to set up an Overwatch. Oops. Anybody moves, they get it. So... Monkey wrench. Can move to there. And still Overwatch. Let's do that. So if they get too close to that student, they get monkey wrenched. And I'll use her to protect the gun guy. Because why not? Ow! Right in the head. Monkey wrench. That'll teach him. Unfortunately, I think the rest of them are going to keep coming. Leave him alone. Ouch, that's mean. That's right, he's got a couple of those. Oh, the time clock's nearly full. If I don't hurry up, then... If I don't hurry up, then some horror from outer space is going to come and get me. Agatha's just rolling through all these monsters. Oh, hello, fellow cultists. Yeah, sure. I'm sure. Uh-oh. Oh, you're still alive. Phew. Oh, damn it. Cthulhu Mythos event. We've actually triggered one by accident, so... We have a penalty to the group, and one of the great old ones, Cthulhu himself, or how do you pronounce the name, makes us lose a sanity point.
Help me!
That wasn't so bad. Then the clock resets. Do I think this game is objectively good? I think this game is objectively exactly what I like. Because I'm a big fan of the board game, in all seriousness. Arkham Horror is one of my favourite board games. So this game is giving me exactly what I was hoping for, really. And it does so in a way that's not just a static copy-paste of the board game. It's actually doing something a little bit more with it. Agatha just knocked out another one. 3 out of 3. So yeah, I think this is good.
Are you all
This
right?
is the kind of game I could get a lot into. You once got into a fight because some guy just was pronounced with a hard K. Yeah, I've seen all kinds of different pronunciation guides for it. I just say Cthulhu because that's how I read it in my head, and if I'm wrong, then Cthulhu can come eat me, I guess.
Thank you. I think I'll be fine. It's mostly shock.
Cool, we saved
This
him.
was just a diversion.
We saved the civilian.
We need
so
to catch up to the
good
men
deed
that
for the
were
day
in
done.
Professor Tillingist's office.
You gonna give us something? Give us some loot, dude. Ah, I see. A medical book. Well then, I'll take that. Thank you, Mr. Doctor Student. Thank you for the treasure. Ah, okay. So, because we read the newspaper article, we just copped some sanity. Depending on the newspaper you read these days, it will in fact indeed ruin your sanity, so that's a bit of realism. Because a body went disappearing. Somebody went and stole a body from the graveyard. Rightio. That news would send me insane too.
Are you hurt?
Oh, it's another boy person. Are you hurt?
No,
That's
just
why he's on
bruised.
the ground.
Some men in weird costumes knocked.
Which way did they go?
They ran right into that classroom.
Okay, so there's a classroom there. Filthy bandages. In fact, witnessing filthy bandages actually makes you check your sanity as well. We will take them, we might need them, but I'd rather not use them. So we need to go into this classroom, that's where the cultists went. Let's see what we're facing.
Who are you people?
Oh, more blood and bloodletting and stuff. That's a pretty cool classroom. I like that style.
There they are. They have the professor's things. Get them back.
These fools mustn't stop us. Deal with them.
3 more cultists. 3 more to deal with. Alright, let's rifle this one. Ow. Set up an Overwatch. Agatha. Easily my most effective fighter. Monkey Wrench does it all. And then... So the little dots that you see under the icons there for people that are watching, those little dots are how many action points it takes to use an ability. And she's not that good at fighting because she needs 4 action points to just knife somebody once. But I can Overwatch. And Overwatching will let me do the knifing anyway. Stab. Ouch. Fist in the face. Oh, that guy's got a gun. Reject battle axe, return to monkey wrench. I think I would at the moment. Then monkey wrenches are good stuff. They're getting the job done for sure. I better get rid of that cultist. He's got a gun. Pow. One bullet left. I'll save it and hopefully protect that woman. Now monkey wrench the guy in the face. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Not enough range. Oh well. If he moves, he dies. And stab him in the face. That's the punch. So she's taking a bit of damage. She's only got 14 health left. But hopefully this is the last battle for this particular little quest. And I survive it. Oh, come on. I don't get to monkey wrench them if they just shoot. Ooh, she's only got 5 health now. If they don't move, Overwatch doesn't work. There you go. That's not the news I wanted. Critical hit with the gun did it. That's good. Yeah, so he's only got 3 bullets left. Hopefully there's not too much more combat to come. Smack in the face. I love that wrench.
They won't be knocking down any more students. Now, let's...
Robbing the robbers. It would all seem a bit tawdry if it weren't so poetic.
Alright, so that is the good point to stop this stream. I think we're pretty much close to the end of this particular... What do I think of 3D women? Well, when they're Murray Rose, Murray Rose is missing from this game. Hopefully they do that as a DLC or something. But anyway, we will call an end to this stream right here. This gives you a good idea of what to expect from this game. Anyway, I think I do like it a great deal. I will have a review up on digitallydownloaded.net, and unless it goes south pretty quickly after this, it's going to be pretty good. Thanks as always for joining us. Sorry that we didn't do the stream yesterday, but it was today. But that let us play this game because it wasn't out when I was going to do my stream yesterday. We've got plenty more coming this week on digitallydownloaded.net. We've got another stream coming this Friday, so we'll hope to see you there. Otherwise, have a great week and we'll see you next time.